Battlefield of Eternity! We are in the winner bracket still of qualifier number 5 for the Banshee Cup, everybody. So, the Cats against the Space Goofs! And we got Quasar playing today again. I have to admit that Space Goofs is a team that I thoroughly enjoy casting right now. It's really fun. They have some cool players over there, their playstyle is awesome, and they came up with some nice strategies. Generally speaking, the qualifiers that we had so far for the Banshee Cup were an absolute blast. The grand final of qualifier number 4 included Shogal again, which was funny as hell. Now here in qualifier number 5, our first match in the winner bracket included Probius, which I definitely did not have on my bingo card. So it's kind of cool. It's pretty awesome. Now it is qualifier number 5, which means that we only have this qualifier and the next qualifier left, and then we're done with the qualifiers and we move on to the next phase of the tournament. So the teams only have a very limited amount of time to gather points for the leaderboard. As mentioned before, if you want to have more information on all these things and if you want to see the leaderboard, you can go to Discord. The link is in the description and it's updated on the Discord channel. But for videos and everything else, updating these graphics in real time is just simply too much work. Again, we have some admins taking care of a lot of stuff here. Outside of that, I'm doing the observing myself. I'm doing a lot of the organizing on the cups as well, the casting and everything that's involved with it, the entire show here. And then obviously all of that solo. So yeah, it's a little bit too much. At some point, there's just a cutoff and that's where it is. So if you are interested, join the Discord. Outside of that, you can take my word for it that the teams are still fighting to make sure that they're not only getting into the playoffs, but at the same time, we want to be as high up as possible. We're using a stepladder system for the next phase, and yeah, the higher up you are, the less games you have to play. So now we got Hanzo and Durell as our early picks on Battlefield of Eternity. And yeah, Li Ming as damage against the Immortal for the continuous poke. You have Hanzo. We still have Vala around if one of the teams also wants to add a couple of arrows. But what's our next pick on this rotation? There goes Stukov. They actually waited for on this one for quite some time. Johan with Muradin. Obviously you can tee up Li Ming beautifully if you just move in with Muradin, get the Stormbolt connected and have a follow-up there. A little bit curious if they're adding or trying to add Genji for that comp. We've seen that obviously a lot. Genji plus Li Ming, you can go for full resets with the two of them, getting that Swift Strike reset and just like allowing Li Ming to get kills, resets, more kills, and gain all that momentum in the team fight. As we have Diablo banned out. Don't want to get bullied around here on the first map. And there's the Genji ban. Okay, so they're already trying to deny this. In the playoffs, by the way, we're fighting for $2,500 of prize money. All of that sponsored again by Kevin, the Heroes of the Storm Sugar Daddy, keeping heroes alive one tournament at a time. So he sponsored this entire thing, the Banshee Cup. Banshee Cup is also named after his favorite hero, after Sylvanas, who unfortunately is getting more... she's getting banned more than she gets played, which is kind of wild. But she is obviously insanely powerful in Universal. And hey, Fat Illidan and Anduin. So some interesting light bomb combos that they can execute even without Genji. Either with Muradin or with Chen. So definitely a few tools that they now have. That leaves us with our final 2 picks right now. We got Play and Yasuo. And we still don't have a frontliner. Again, game number 1, so everything is still up for grabs. They go Garrosh and they go Chromie. So we have Garrosh throw into Stukov, Hanzo and Chromie. There's a lot of poke. That's a lot of poke from a distance, for sure. Here is our final pick, Battlefield of Eternity, everybody. Again, map number 1 in the best of 3 series here in the winner bracket of the 5th qualifier. And we are in the round of 8 currently. So what's the blue team picking for, I suppose, added damage? We could get a bit more frontlining. Yep, triple frontline it is. We get Thrall as our final choice. Could even go Crash Lightning. We don't usually see it these days anymore. But given that he doesn't have to be on the side lane, Chen will take that role. He will be part of the 4-man, so there is an option for that. First map in the series, Battlefield of Eternity, everybody. Game number 1, the Cats against the Space Goofs. On the left side for the blue team, we have Captain Rex on Li Ming. Herath on Thrall, soaking on Chen. Deviant is playing Anduin, and we got Johan on Muradin. And we indeed get Crash Lightning. I like it. It's not a talent that we see a lot. Even when Thrall is on the 4-man, most players lately do not go into Crash Lightning. But we now have a chance for Thrall to stack up damage as the game continues. In addition, on the right side, the Space Goofs with Play on Garrosh, Dequaza on Urel, rocking the side lane, X-Ray with Stukov, Chiaseka on Hanzo, and Yazu is playing Chromie. So for Thrall, it's all gonna be about stacking here. And of course, once that you're done with the entire quest, that's when you hit your real power spike. You can just poke from a distance. It doesn't matter what you hit, the bounces will prioritize heroes, and that allows you to chunk them down, specifically when the Immortal is up and you're in some kind of standoff, but also if opponents are hiding behind structures, it doesn't really matter. So Thrall is going to become insanely powerful with this, always assuming that he is able to stack. Now, this is a talent that already gives you some benefits even before you stack it fully, so you will get the damage increase, and I like that a lot. It's actually pretty sweet. But again, we'll see what they can actually do with this, how far they can go here. For now, though, with the 4-man, we have down at the bottom of the map a lot of poke still from the red team. The Space Goofs are going to try and use Yazu plus Chia with Chromie and Hanzo to poke them into oblivion. But it is actually Play that is a bit low. Well, he's not alone. Nice flip. Anduin ruins the play. And both tanks survive. So, good for them. 3 stacks for Thrall. He's very likely going to end up being one of the top damage dealers in this game, by the way. Now, time will tell, and it highly depends on how far he can go. Herath also the one that bullied people with Greymane, and the bullet. I honestly want to see that again. I want to see him go for Bullet once more, and then pick the level 20 talent just as the upgrade. It was just hilarious to see that game. It's one of the funniest that we had in a while. But again, he can do a lot with Thrall here too. It's all about getting the cooldown now in and really getting those stacks. He's at 5 already, so a good start. And they try to fight for the camp. They're not giving up on it either. They lose Muradin though. X-Ray, yeah, Garrosh is dead too. They're really throwing everything on the line here. But it is indeed the Cats that are able to claim the camp. So a trade in kills on the frontliners. We have Herath capitalizing on that battle with additional stacks. And now they can try and hit a few more. With even more quests coming in now for Green Jesus. We have the Frost Wolf pack over here. Gonna try, of course, to complete that in time and then combo it off potentially with a level 16 quest. Depends a little bit on how his stacking on level 1 goes, I would assume. Because on 16 you have, of course, a few options. You could also go into Thunderstorm there, and that will boost your damage even further. But again, it depends a bit on how the game develops, if you are trying to apply more pressure onto Garrosh in particular. But the mana management alone that you're getting with the completed level 4 quest is already quite nice. So the first Immortal spawning as the teams are going for their camps. We have 6 stacks for Thrall. He's going to try and get a few more here soon, TM. But these are the fights where he can thrive. There's no minions in the middle. So as long as your opponent is pushing for the Immortal and you're getting close enough to hit that, you will get those added stacks and then boost your damage. And that's what he essentially is looking for right now. Or at least should. But the halftime show is already over, and he didn't get anything done here. Blue team is trailing as the Space Goofs are doing some solid damage in all of this. Yeah, so Thrall has another opportunity right now, gets the hit, and is now at 7 stacks and already top damage on his team. Not by a big margin, but again, this is gonna add up over time. They're still defending and keep Liming on the left side to try and whittle down the shield, but they are going to lose this for sure. So no chance to win the Immortal here. It's just not happening. Eventually they will lose out on it. Johan jumping in deep, trying to assist Chen a bit and giving him some space, but Herath, low in mana, completes his quest at least before he dies, so that's the good news. That's actually quite neat. Everybody chased him, everybody lined up, and then he was able to complete the Frost Wolf pack. He has 8 stacks on level 1. That's not too bad. Nothing insane, nothing crazy, given that he came into the fight, I believe, with already 6 initially, so only picked up 2 additional ones. But they have to deal with the Immortal now, and Thrall isn't here to help out. He's just coming back from the Nexus now, but they're still missing out on him a bit. And here's the level 7 talent advantage for the Space Goofs. They are trying to crush through this, to break things here, as Thrall gets another hit. Stacks his damage up a bit more, and now also has the Ancestral Wrath, which of course is always nice. That little boost that he has, bit self-sustain, mini nuke that he can rely upon too. Yeah, and another hit for him. 10 stacks by now. So Herath can poke. And the more damage you can poke from a distance, and it's not necessarily that you're going to get an immediate kill out of it, but what you can definitely do is put additional pressure on the opponent's support just by forcing them over and over to get their heals out. So that what he's going to try and do as all of this continues. Yeah, they go again for Garrosh. Another chance for Thrall also to get another hit in. But yeah, misses out on that. You can't dive too much forward. You don't want to die just because you were trying to stack. But sitting at 10 here isn't really too shabby. So things are not too bad for them. With Temporal Loop in, obviously the Space Goofs have still a bit of a lead. But as I say, Chromie might be in trouble and turns it around and kills Anduin. So Chromie is able to take Anduin down. Muradin is able to escape the Storm Ball that hit Hanzo straight in the face and made his dentist very happy. Allowed him also to get some distance and the trade to kick in. Still some poke from Thrall, who's very low. Urel is jumping in, but Shen is also saying hello, so everybody is now jumping onto the bot lane. That fort is something that the Space Goofs clearly want before the Immortal is up, and they are poking it down. They get the fort. Nice lead for them, so structurally they're pulling ahead now. Thrall with 16,000 damage, top damage for his team. 13 stacks now on level 1, so yes, he is getting there. Can they get the Immortal though? Experience is nearly the same. Both teams are on level 9. We have a slight advantage for the Space Goofs in all of this. And they have with Hanzo and with Chromie 2 fantastic tools to not only poke from a distance, but they can also leverage Hanzo's level 4 to get more Immortal damage out very quickly and just chunk that shield down. If it ends up with a long and drawn-out battle, on the other hand, then Thrall has a chance to stack his level 1 a bit further. But they're, of course, trying to split, as you can see, in pretty much every single fight that happens. They're staying away from Garrosh, using him as a bit of a lightning rod. But eventually, Thrall is going to get these stacks together. And they're fully aware that if this lasts late into the late game, that at some point, Thrall is going to become a serious threat starting to poke them down here. But again, you gotta get there first. Level 10 is ready, so they're falling back. It's all about the halftime show, as they're trying to get the experience at the top, taking the last few minions out, and they are successful. Sundering is in. No real surprises when it comes to the ults here. Sundering, Barrel as usual. We have, in addition to that, also Light Bomb, and they have multiple tools that they can use with Light Bomb. But there's the attack already. Hanzo, yeah, becoming definitely a bit of a problem, but same time, Muradin jumping in. They were hoping to connect that stun with Garrosh, but look at Thrall in trouble. Turns it around. And the nice play-by-play. Indomitable being used here to ensure that he doesn't get stunned out by Sundering, or that could have been the end of the frontliner. But since he had to move back, they now have a chance to go for the Immortal, and they're immediately taking it. I mean, they're burning this thing down. And they're burning it down quickly. This is looking much better for them all of a sudden. So, yeah. Arrow comes out, connects. Oh, Chen! He's alive! He's dead! Yeah, for one second he was basically shooting us Chen. You could think of him as alive and dead at the same time. It was just a question of whether or not he would be able to move in the range of Anduin. He's not the only one that falls. Seems like Li Ming is going to die eventually too. She's gonna get Hanzo'd in a second. But they have the Immortal. There's no kill like overkill. The fight isn't even over. While those two are chasing, the rest of the team is still fighting a bit. The Immortal is already on lane doing work, but Anduin, he is completely cut off and he dies too. Gave Thrall a chance to stack a bit more, I suppose, but if that was really worth it, that's a very different question. So I don't really think so. We now got 6 kills to 1 in favor of the Space Goofs, and they're not losing this fort. So even with the Immortal 1, the Space Goofs still have the advantage in structures. They took out the fort at the bottom of the map before the entire Immortal fight even started. So yeah, good news for them here. Muradin, he's not the only one that has some CC. Thrall is chipping in as they are attempting to lock this down further. Alright, there. Ooh, Sundering. That went nowhere. I think that was a bit of a problem with Temporal Loop, as it seemed. But the red team also couldn't get the damage. So they're trying to kick him out. But there's the Stormbolt. Can they go for Stukov? It doesn't seem like it. Honestly, it's a bit of a chaotic fight here, and both of the teams are trying to just walk away from it. Thrall gets saved by Anduin. He's at 18 stacks now. And as we're keeping tracks on damage, he is still top damage for the team, and by a pretty big margin at this point. So it highlights once again how much poke you can get with this. Now, the caveat is always that this is poke damage. This is not single target damage that will get you a quick kill, but this can really add up as the game continues. And if we're talking about Hanzo, for example, in the same context, it's obviously a bit similar. Nice catch on Chen down here, but nothing that really threatens his life. A little bit annoying, if anything. But yeah, top side still getting attacked. Level 13 is in now. And on top of that, we get the virulent reaction. We also got double up over here. Yeah, they're starting to make their move for play, but they cannot take him out. Garrosh is in a great spot here. I mean, he is literally just the lightning rod for the team. He's the damage sponge. Doesn't die, just sits at the front, soaks up all the damage, and then does his thing. Halftime show, yeah, the battle is breaking out with level 13 advantage for Space Goofs. They're slightly ahead here. And off we go. There's already the arrow. Oh, they nearly got mirrored in. They nearly got him, but they missed out on the kill. He comes in with light bomb and is immediately shoved back out. Insta shove. Yeah, that was wild, but they get Garrosh after all, and this might just be the turning point for the Cats. The Cats are looking for more, they're looking for Stukov, he dies as well, and that is them with the upper hand. But look at the minimap, camps everywhere. Also, check Muradin out here. As Muradin jumps, so here comes the light bomb, then Muradin jumps over and gets immediately shoved. That shove wasn't even intended for him. They didn't try to shove Muradin out, as Chromie dies down here, but he jumps straight into it and then got pushed out of the fight. Now with Chromie falling, they are still going for Urel. This should be an easy objective, of course, for the Cats, but a totally wild fight. 33,000 damage in the meantime for Thrall, 39,000 for Hanzo. So Thrall is pulling farther and farther ahead here, at least on his own team, and is catching up with the top damage dealers on the Space Goofs side as well. If he can go the distance, that's the question. But the red team has still done a pretty solid job on the halftime show. They were, after all, able to make it to nearly a 50-50 position. So Chen is buying a bit of time. Hanzo is just doing his thing, and the damage output that he has with level 4 against Immortal is just absurd. It's just absurd. They might even win this one. Even if they don't, it's going to be insanely close. So, yep. Red team locks it in with 1,000 hit points, and Chen dies, basically negating it. I mean, basically negating the objective. There's the top side fort, if they're committing, might fall, but down here, the bottom fort is not going to get destroyed. Now, Thrall, with 21 stacks, he's getting closer and closer to completion on Trash Lightning. He is 9 stacks away, so this is kind of working for him. But yeah, we have 4 kills to 7. An advantage in experience for the Space Goofs as they are defending the bot side Immortal. Thrall can still see if he locks in another... oh, there's the stun. Sundering could be used and is, but Anduin still dies. Anduin goes down. Thrall picks up a few more stacks in his attempt to complete the quest. But it is a wild back and forth in this game. Objective now taken twice in a row by the Cats, but they're still losing out on a lot of the momentum that you usually try to gain with the objective, just simply because they are losing heroes in the process. So level 16 is now available. This is also where Thrall has to make a choice whether he wants to synergize with his level 1 or his level 4 talent. I mean, traditionally you would expect that he's going for level 16 to have more damage with his Crash Lightning, but time will tell. Still poking them out. He's 6 stacks short of completing the quest. That's pretty good. 5 actually. Like, he's getting there. He's really getting there. He is going to complete it. Probably in time for the next fight or during the next fight. So, yeah. 4 short. And he goes for Alpha Wolf. So Alpha Wolf, after all, a little bit more damage there up at the front. Also increases the root duration. So he has some utility that he gains together with it as well. And Chen gets saved. Anduin is the double pull. Turn into the Pullout King. Another great arrow. Sundering to try and save the day. Thrall, they could go for the kill against Garrosh. They have a chance, and they take it. The heals from Anduin, keeping not only Anduin himself, but also Li Ming alive. Damn, they're actually barreling through that fight. 28 stacks now for Thrall. Yeah, he's completing this any moment now. Great spot for Thrall to be in, and from that point onwards he is going to be able to just chunk them down even harder. Look at his damage numbers. He's at 48,000 now, and he is going to complete his quest. Then it's going to prioritize heroes, and he can just use anything as the initial target, being it the Immortal, being it a structure, being it a minion, and guaranteed to do damage against the backliners. And this is really going to help and put additional pressure on Stukov, who of course will have to heal out so much poke damage. The few heroes that haven't died in this game, Urel and Hanzo. Halftime show now though, big victory. Yeah, Thrall still sitting tight here. We have now 5 kills to 8, and boy, they are getting a massive shield out of this. But do they get stunned? Chen barreling away and is able to get out. Or is he? Because there's Garrosh and another... How many Hanzo arrows do we get? He honestly has a cooldown reduction on this thing or something. It's kind of bonkers. Gets punished for it as well. They're tired of eating arrow after arrow, so they take him down. And with the quest completed for Thrall, he doesn't stop there. He goes for Stukov and drops him too, picking up massive amounts of damage in the process. They have 100% shield as well on the Immortal, and this might just have been the tipping point. The Cats with a mad amount of momentum down at the bottom of the map. Thrall, again, the quest completed. They have a half-level lead, 8 kills to 8, and this is the moment that could really turn the game. The bottom fort is suffering before the Immortal is even there, and they're just going for it. Just absolutely bonkers here. Tipping point reached. Thrall done with the quest. The damage is coming. Mad Immortal on the way, and the defenders are not in place yet. Still dead. Thrall coming in now too, and those are just some huge numbers that he's putting out. So once again, they try for Chromie. Chromie in some trouble. Chen going deep, maybe a little bit too deep. Soaking, barreling back out, and the Immortal is crushing through the keep. Could go for game, could go for core. Depends on how confident they are. If they get a kill, they will definitely try. But can they get that kill? Thrall is poking, and now it's hurting. Now it's really hurting. He can target whatever he wants, and he's going to hit heroes with it. There's still a shield on the Immortal as the keep falls, and they're going to get core damage. They want to end the game, and they have a shot at pulling it off. Thrall pokes, and just look how his damage numbers are rising. It's ridiculous at this point. Absolutely ridiculous. Now going for another Sundering here. X-Ray in trouble. Here comes the stun with the light bomb. The Immortal takes out the core one hit at a time. The arrow misses, and that is game. The Cats, they take the lead in this best of 3 series in the winner bracket of qualifier number 5 against the Space Goofs. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Infernal Shrines is our map, and the Cats have the lead against the Space Goofs. So, let's go. Let's see what the Space Goofs can do to bring this back. I gotta say, pretty close game. There was a certain tipping point, obviously, but also Thrall and all the pressure that he built up was a bit too much for the red team to handle. But just generally, they always fought back. We always had close fights between them. Just towards the end, it was a bit too much to handle. So currently, the Space Goofs attempting, of course, to win map number 2, force the third and final map in the best of 3 series. We're still in the winner bracket, so even if a team loses here, they have another shot in the lower bracket that they can use. But yeah, we'll see. Same time now though, Blaze banned out, Hogger banned, and what's going to be the first pick for the Space Goofs? They lost the last maps. They had the choice whether they wanted to go into first pick, first ban, or if they wanted to determine the map, and they decide that they want to go for Maiev and first pick, first ban. So off we go. Already starting things a little bit more aggressive, trying with that tether. Now there's a few of the heroes that you would love to combo off with Maiev are already gone. You can't tether into a Lurking Arm, for example, any longer, but still she's always a fantastic hero to have. with Infernal Shrines being the map, Jojo is always great, Dehaka, Leoric, I mean you name it. Anything that reigns supreme when it comes to all these battles on the shrines itself is a win. And we get even the Sylvanas in this game. So the Cats with the push power that they need to use that Punisher to push even further. So there's an opportunity for them right there. And in addition to that, we also have Rhaegar coming through. Can provide that lightning shield. And it all will also help them get those mercenary camps a little bit quicker, plus the big ancestral you can throw out with the powerful upgrader level 20 to keep everybody alive. We get Tyrael and Uther, alrighty, so they are going for a very aggressive style now. We got Tyrael plus Maiev. You can make a sanctification play here on the shrine very easily. Uther, and I would say this might be Greymane as a potential pickup for the added damage dealer. Divine Shield on Greymane and then also a Sanctification to boot with Maiev behind it. That's a lot of damage that you could get with that. Dequaza then on the side lane. This could be quite powerful. They're taking Vala out. She has another option, so Greymane is one, Vala is the other. Not a bad ban by any means. But I like the way that the Space Goofs are signaling right from the start that they want to go for a hyper-aggressive game and really bring the fight to their opponents. Not just trying to macro and play around the objective, but they're looking for team fights and they're looking to get kills. Jojo gets banned therefore. First of all, with Blessed Shield, with also the Blind, with Condemn, she can always throw a bit of a wrench into the plans of the opponent's team when she plays that properly. She's also another source of a potential stun against Tyrael whenever he tries to get the Sanctification out. And there's nothing worse than Tyrael trying to time a perfect Sanctification and all of a sudden he gets stunned out and he gets set back on a mini cooldown mid-animation and the team that was relying on it is just falling apart. Blue team is responding. Melganis, oh, and we get Sergeant Hammer. Yeah, banned a few times already today, and now locked in as a hero. So they're gonna set her up after she reaches level 7 outside of the shrine. It's gonna make the first objective also interesting, because again, the question is, can she actually get to that point? Yes, no. Is she able to get level 7 for the mobility or not? Yeah, the final two picks. Kel'Thas! Okay. Did not necessarily expect Kel'Thas to be thrown in here. Adds a bit more CC, obviously, but I honestly thought that we are going to get somebody with more auto attack damage. Kel'Thas is going to allow them to control the fights even further with Gravity Lapse and his Living Bombs, of course. So it's going to be on Maiev to chase people down. But Kel'Thas can be a nuisance to deal with. And for Sergeant Hammer, it's a lot of CC to handle as well. So your siege tactics only go so far, as Soaking locks in the final hero, and it is Samuro. Ladies and gentlemen, map number 2. We're heading into Infernal Shrines without further ado. The Cats are in the lead with the 1-0 in the series. We have Captain Rex on the left with Sylvanas. Soaking is playing Samuro. We got Johan on Mal'Ganis, Hirath on Sergeant Hammer, and Deviant is playing Rhaegar. On the right side of the map, the Space Goofs with a Play on Tyrael. We got X-Ray on Kel'Thas, Chiaseka on Maiev, Yazu on Uther, and Dequaza is playing Leoric in this second game of the best of 3. Let the games begin! I love that we're getting some more Kel'Thas plays. And let's see how Sergeant Hammer is going to do in this one too. We currently have her with the advanced artillery, as so often. And they are going to set her up at the bottom of the map, at least for now. And then we'll see how things progress as she's trying to get level 7 around the first objective. They're already trying to get a kill up at the top. And that is a problem for Sylvanas. So yep, very nice catch. They made sure that they just covered all paths of potential retreat. So no chance for Sylvanas to get out. They had to move resources towards the top lane for that. They got a kill, but they're also suffering the consequences at the bottom of the map. One tower is down. The side wall is also gone. So with the gate taking some serious damage, the question still remains, was it worth it? Yes, no. That's a lot of initial damage done at the bottom fort. And we'll see how that's going to work out for them. But again, nice kill. It would have been so much worse if they didn't get it. But death timers are obviously very low this early in the game, so yeah, a bit of a trade that they went for. Now, with that said and done, we have still the one-on-one established at the top. Soaking going up against Dequaza, so Dequaza is going to have to deal now with Samuro. But if anybody is going to pull it off properly, it's going to be Dequaza for sure. Still one of the best side laners that we have in the game. Sylvanas getting the kill on Uther, so a bit of a setback for the Space Goofs. They got the initial kill against Sylvanas, but she came back and opted for revenge. You can't just simply take out the Banshee Queen. That's not how this works. With the camp at the bottom of the map getting attacked, you're gonna aim for this. We have level 4 talents now kicking in, so Netherwind is ready, Stalwart Angel. And Leo is going for more synergy with Ghastly Reach right now, so it's all about the range for him. Whereas Samuro with Deflection and with the Way of the Blade has started things off. And there's Siege Tactics, obviously. I mean, for Sergeant Hammer, that was kind of given. Just looking at how much CC is available for the red team. They could, of course, technically also go into Judgment and really go for it, but given the map, I would still assume that we're going to get Sanctification for them. So, in addition, all the way at the top, Dequaza has to hearth out here unless he wants to activate his trade, which I doubt he wants to. So, yeah. Oh, and Hammer? Yeah, gets away. Hammer gets out. 9 stacks for Khaldor. Again, mana addict. He wants to get that shield as quickly as he can and also the extra mana. So, in addition to that, on level 4, the Pursuit of Justice. Big words by Uther, yeah, big words. Samuro is actually getting value up here. So, he is starting to really threaten this a little bit. Everybody else is on the shrine. Maiev is the one moving towards the top. Hireth has the problem that he just doesn't have mobility yet. It's always level 7 around the first shrine, but it always kicks in late. So while the blue team is trying to get to level 7 and get real value out of Sergeant Hammer, the Space Goofs are hoping for the initial lead before Hammer gets her mobility and maybe even lock in the entire Punisher by the time. But the blue team just pushes this out very nicely, and it's gonna get a bit tricky. Because the experience is nearly there. But thanks to the AoE that comes from Leo, they're now at 24 to 11 Shrine Minions. So it's not looking too bad for the Space Goofs. And I guess this one, the cats will have to give this one up. They have the mobility now, but I think it's already a bit too late. 35 stacks, 36 stacks to 20. They're still hoping for a bit of a turnaround. I just don't see it happening. Nice moves, and there it is. X-Ray is the one that solidifies the first Punisher for the red team. So they have the advantage. We see them with Swift Retribution, and we got them with Burnt Flesh now too. Maiev dying to Samuro is also a bit of a problem. And he's now immediately attacking Dequaza, as at the bottom the Punisher got baited over. We're talking Frozen Punisher here, so there's definitely a lot of potential damage. But Sylvanas is shutting the minion wave down. So that's already a big win when you're talking about defense against the objective. And with Hirath and Captain Rex moving together here, they take the Punisher out within seconds. So not a problem, not a big deal for them right now. And just generally well done here. A good defense, not too much of an issue that they lost it initially. And now just a question of how is the game going to progress. Because this is really where it's going to get interesting, since level 10 abilities are kicking in next. So you're going to have that to contest. First objective was always a bit up in the air, depending on who gets level 7, how quickly they get it for Sergeant Hammer. But with nice poke from a distance, the red team just a bit more successful there. They are about to lose Maiev again though, and they might lose that camp too. They're still fighting for it, but they're starting to drop low, and Johan is the one that claims it. Tyrael falls. That means we have 3 kills to 0 now in favor of the blue team, and they are gaining more and more momentum here. So, yep, not bad, not too shabby. That's a really nice position for them to now be in, because it means an early level 10 with Sergeant Hammer, you should then be able to go and take down the opponent's fort here. There's just no way that they're really trying to defend this with 2 heroes. They're going to get murdered, especially now that Sylvanas is moving in as well. I mean, already we have Johan in position, they're trying for Uther. Tyrael is saying hello, but there's only so much he can do. They're saving everyone as they're retreating, but the fort was doomed from the beginning. Once that level 10 hit, that was just lights out. And as so often, Samuro, played by Soaking, he loves to go into Bladestorm, and he's done it again this time. So a significant advantage now for the blue team. Not only do the Cats have taken out an additional structure, but they also have that 1 level lead that they're going to try and use. On top of that, we now got Containment Disc in, and Uther went stun. Uther actually went stun, so they have the CC for these fights now. Can follow up on that. Camp gets claimed. Yep, the fight isn't over yet either. There's the Ancestral just in time, but the Entomb was strong enough. Rhaegar could not get out. They at least get the kill against Tyrael, so it's a trade between the two teams. But X-Ray falls as well. Mal'Ganis moved out without any trouble, and that is a nice trade victory for the team on the left side of the map. So yeah, it's a little bit wild. It's still back and forth. In kills, the blue team is looking better. They also have that fort destroyed at the bottom of the map, and we were only 7 minutes in now. But you can already tell that everybody is fighting tooth and nail in order to get ahead. The blue team wants a quick and easy 2-0 victory, and the Space Goofs, they are determined to force game number 3. Leo is the top damage dealer for them with 14,000. Kel'Thas has so far not chipped in enough. And we have Sergeant Hammer with 24k, Samuro with 21. So they are bringing the pain now. And as both teams go for the Shaman camp, the next Punisher is being fought over, and the initial lead goes without a doubt straight to the red team. Living Bomb, still a bit of an issue. Phoenix already put out here, as Samuro is dealing with the top lane, trying to take that Shaman out so that they can get damage against the top side fort. But it allows the red team to take control over the shrine with the 5-man that they're running and to pull ahead a bit. Now there's only one camp pushing at the top though, and that might actually result in the fort taking damage. BFG comes out. They're trying to go for Samuro for a second. There's the Sanctification. Hirath still dishing out some damage and maneuvering, but the red team is getting closer and closer to locking in the Punisher with the 35 stacks that they're now owning. Stun is out. 13 talents are kicking in, but the Punisher goes to the Space Goofs. They are losing ground at the top though. They are losing hit points at the fort as the Punisher is now coming in. Rhaegar's trying to get away. The jump still got procced in front of the gate, so that's bad news. But they are taking the topside fort out. And that's already a win in and of itself. So if the red team is now unable to take the fort out, then technically they still lost the trade. That's, yeah, bad news. Definitely is. So, yeah, we'll see. 13 talents are in. They're still like an entire level ahead, and there's 2 forts that are now destroyed. So yeah, they're looking Gucci. And over here, it's a chase for the next camp. With the talent advantage, don't really want to take them out too quickly. So yeah, either way, things are looking quite nice for the Cats. And not massively ahead yet. It's still the even talents, or at least again. We're also continuing with the Ominous Wraith now. We have the Pyromaniac in, so these builds are starting to really come together. But it doesn't change the fact that the blue team is pulling a bit ahead in this game as it continues, and we'll just have to see what they can do with this. 16,000 damage for Leo. He's still the top damage dealer. Having those drains in against Mal'Ganis is always helping. We got a 31,000 for Sergeant Hammer. She hasn't really been pressured too much, so that definitely helps. They're now going for the camp here. They've actually done a great job on mercenary camps. We can take a quick look at the experience too. And on mercenaries, you can see they're way ahead of their opponent. So a huge difference between the two teams when it comes to it. And it just shows how diligent the Cats were taking those mercenaries out. Even in minion experience, they are ahead. So right now we got, yeah, even in structures, passive experience, they're taking a lead on pretty much every single metric for now. And this is what helps them to get to an early level 16. And just look at the bottom lane. Camp coming in, still a bit of minion there. Top lane, the catapult, 1 tower is already taken out over here. It adds up over time. And there really needs to be some kind of uproar from the red team to bring this back. I want to say ideally on the next objective, but I think it's going to be tricky because they're still trailing a talent again. And this is the point where you can really get snowballed, especially since with level 16 we now have Giant Killer. That's a huge advantage, and the Earthgrass Totem. Those 2 talents alone are massive power spikes for the respective heroes, and it will allow the blue team to just be so much more aggressive. So they're going to try and do that right now. But yeah, it's gonna be dicey. Sylvanas has pushed the bot lane out. Samuro is doing the same thing at the top. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Now, to be fair, yeah, well, 1 level in 25 seconds. Not quite a level. They might be able to get it. They might be able to fight for the objective after all. But it looks like there's a good chance that they're going to lose out on it. At least the initial position is going to be better for the blue team. That's already a given. No matter what. So, yeah, they're taking position down here. They're pushing the next wave out pretty easily. But good for the boys in red. They are able to get 16. So this is the fight that they really have to engage into. And we have now Ignite. We got Royal Focus. So those builds are really coming together for them. And that allows them to now make that play. And this is a bit of a do or die. They need to make some moves now. So off we go. 5 kills to 2. Attacks are coming. Phoenix is already on the ground. BFG is coming in and at least is nipping some of the hit points away. Soaking could push at the bottom of the map if all things fail. But they take the lead on Shrine minions. Yasuo's waiting for a decent stun that he can use. But the red team is now pushing in and starts to take over. Sergeant Hammer with 1 attack at a time is trying to whittle them down a little bit. Dequaza moving in, reducing damage at least slightly. Here's the Sanctification as Mal'Ganis is trying to move out. 32 to 27 stacks and a big choke point play that allows them to take Uther down. The go is still useful for a bit more longer, but the Punisher is already taken and they're still trying to chase the rest of the team here. Particularly Maiev got dropped pretty low, but they are starting to move down to the bot lane in an attempt to take that keep out. Nicely done. That got close for a second, but after they were able to take Uther down, who never even had a chance to go for a proper Divine Storm, they are now in a spot where they can push for the first keep of their game. At least the wall will be murdered. There's 1 catapult with them. The Punisher loses hit points quickly, but now that they get a bit closer... Nice zoning against Sirat. That at least kept them away for the keep for a bit longer, but with Sylvanas now helping out too and Samuro appearing, there is no way that they can save that keep. The keep will fall. They're not going to lose the game. They're not going to lose their core here. But the gap in experience is now back to an entire 2 levels. And it's, of course, yeah, hurting them. It's really hurting them a lot. Top side, the wall is broken too, which will allow Samuro, as the game continues, to pressure this further. And yeah, it's tough. Cats are playing this really well. They're doing a great job, and the worst part for the red team is that level 20 talent that is going to kick in. So yeah. Now, that I would still have taken the catapult out. It's going to be taken out by the minions, don't get me wrong. But those are a couple of shots on the keep that weren't really necessary. So yeah, the keep is losing some hit points. It's not going to decide the game here. It's not going to fall to it. But still, you want to preserve as much of that as you possibly can. Play rotates back out. They are moving a bit more aggressively towards the top. Samuro also has pretty decent vision down here, so he knows where everybody is currently taking their stand. And since the team is lining up topside, it seems that they are having plans of using level 20 to push either for the keep in the middle or for the keep at the top. Given that they have multiple camps here and some catapults, this might be the play to make. And Sergeant Hammer is about to lock in Ultra Capacitors. There we go. And in addition to that, we get the Farseer's Blessing plus the Blade Master's Pursuit. So, here we go. Well, sieging up at the core. Didn't necessarily expect that. But if they... Oh, no! No! Not like this! Oh, that hurts. That hurts so much. That was a nice catch. They lined it up perfectly. The totem from Rhaegar, then the BFG. They get the double kill. Now Maiev and Tyrael have also fallen. And that, of course, is the conclusion of game number 2. A 2-0 victory for the Cats as they drop the Space Goofs into the lower bracket. Nicely done. Real nice play and a fantastic execution of that last push. And therefore, a well-deserved victory on Infernal Shrines. GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.